Champions Cup, folks. Munster and Stade Francais, 33 points to 7. Big bonus point win for the Munster lads, but what a weird game. Absolutely blowing a gale. Munster in a jersey which is kind of not really red. 2 red cards for the Stade Francais boys. A penalty reversed for using bad language, not even at the referee, just at the opposition. Weird. Genuinely bizarre game. I watch a fair bit of rugby, but this game still registered as weird with some stuff that I don't think I've seen before. But hey, it was some rugby to start my day. And it's certainly nicer weather here than it was in the south of Ireland. But man, crowd will go home happy having seen a good win. We'll go through some of the key events and the stats, and you guys can let us know your thoughts on how this one went. Both these sides, part of the reason I wanted to watch this one was because they've had disrupted seasons. Both these sides have had coaching changes to the start of their seasons, so Munster still yet to decide on who's going to be the long-term coach for them, and Paul Gustard's taken over as the coach of Stade Francais after they've had a kind of bit of a tumultuous start to the season, but they were looking to play. They changed their team up. A lot of as I say, changes to their regular starting lineup from last week anyway, the Stade Francais boys, but they were looking to play at pace. Didn't opt for a 3-pointer early. They were looking to kind of go quickly, but Munster were pretty defensively solid early on, and Munster also not looking to opt for threes early. They ended up going for a maul when they had a chance, but ended up getting stopped by the Stade Francais defenders. So it was defence kind of dominating both sides early on. But then first try of the game came from a bit of Jack Crowley magic, and he was looking to pull the strings pretty well in today's game. I thought he put a kick through which bamboozled the Stade Francais fullback Jonas. Bit of a wicked bounce. Ends up being a 50-22 because it goes into touch from the resulting maul. Craig Casey, who also had a bit of a blinder, goes blindside to Abrams, and he's over in the corner for a try. Abrams ended up getting man of the match, but hell of a conversion from Crowley. Makes it 7 points to 0. Not a bad start. Stade Francais 10, Henry. He's just English, isn't he? He's not Thierry Henry. He's just Henry. Replied with a 50-22 of his own. Stade Francais went through 10 phases, but then Johan Tonga got held up in the tackle. And boy, were the Munster guys just looking to hold guys up in the tackle in this game. They did it multiple times. I don't know how many times you need to get it done to you before you realise you need to carry a bit lower in the tackle, but maybe it's easier said than done because the Munster guys were looking for it and they were getting that done. So turnover ball for them. Then a little bit of hot water for Munster with Alex Nankerville. Pretty upright tackle. And I thought he was maybe lucky. He tackled the Stade Francais hooker. Maybe lucky not to see a different colour of card, but he gets a yellow. Interestingly, the commentary team was saying because this competition has the full red cards instead of 20-minute red cards, saying, I think it was Birch that was saying, and I've talked to him, he's a nice guy. He was saying that refs are less likely to give a red card when it's a 20-minute red card. But from my experience, again, I've watched a lot of rugby, especially down here in the Southern Hemisphere, where we do have 20-minute red cards in all the competitions. And the refs are more likely to give red cards if they've got a 20-minute red card option, from my experience. If it's either a full or a yellow, they try to find mitigation to not give a red card if it's a full one, from the amount of rugby I've watched. I don't think it makes sense to make it less likely to give a red card if the punishment for a red card is less, if that makes sense. But anyway, it's a yellow card for Nankerville. I'm pretty sure he's had a red card for Munster before last year. But he gets a yellow. He's maybe a bit of a lucky boy, but he gets a yellow. And then it's a chance for Stade Francais. But Peter Amani, who was imperious in the year, steals the resulting Stade Francais line out anyway. So kind of decent chance for Stade Francais gone. And then despite the yellow card, we get the second try of the game. And it's Shane Daly. Great wee chip and chase. He chips it, gets to it, boots it again. So a bit of football skills from him. And then is able to kind of get it on the third touch to force the thing down for a try. It is a hell of an individual try. It starts with Takia Abrams winning an aerial ball, which Munster had put through. So it starts with the kicking game, it finishes with the kicking game. It's skills from the outside backs for Munster. It is a heck of a try and a good conversion, so 14 points to 0, despite the yellow card. So that's impressive for Munster's attack, which at times was kept kind of quiet by the Stade Francais defenders. That was a proper bit of individual silky skills. Then we had some handbags on 33 minutes. This is the one that The referee reverses a call due to Jack Crowley bad language. What? That was bizarre. Like, I don't mind Luke Pearce as a ref, but this was a weird call because Joe Marchant basically kind of flipped or dumped, just shoved Blula, the loose head, onto the hoardings, which is, I think, what kicked off the handbags. It was a little bit unnecessary. I don't think if the hoardings weren't there, it wouldn't look as bad, but it didn't look great. And then there's handbags kicking off, and the ref reverses the call because of what Jack Crowley's been saying to the Stade Francais guys. Like, if you swear at the ref, I can understand it, but bad language on the rugby field is not unheard of. I don't know. That one was weird. A very, very strange call. Like, that's what I mean about unusual. Like, I've watched how many rugby games over the last how many years. I don't think I've ever seen a call reversed for that. I think he maybe changed his mind as to why the call had been reversed halfway through. I don't know. But anyway, I don't want to go on about the refereeing decisions. Stade Francais were able to go through 14 phases before half-time. Munster were able to turn the ball over. I think it was John Ryan. Peter Amani put a hoof clear, which actually put the Stade Francais boys under a bit of defensive pressure, but after 11 phases, Munster ended up losing the ball anyway. So, it goes into the sheds, 14-0 to Munster. They've been pretty good value for their lead. They've had more territory, 60-40, possessions 50-50. Penalties conceded is only 4-3, Stade Francais having one more, so it's not actually that many penalties. Turnovers conceded, though, 8 by Stade Francais, 4 by Munster, so not really looking after the ball as well. Stade Francais have had to make a lot more tackles, 119 to Munster's 81. Second half starts with, again, Stade Francais being held up in the tackle, leading to a turnover, which would have been frustrating for Paul Gustard. And then a big line break from the Munster lads. It was the likes of Peter Amani and Takia Abrams and Fahim Wycherley all combining. Again, a little bit of slick play to get themselves into some space because those clean breaks were kind of hard to come by, but Stade Francais were able to shut it down. But then we had a TMO interject only after Luke Pearce had seen something on the big screen. Like, usually the TMO gives them a check, but I think the ref heard a wee boo because they showed a camera angle, which did not look good for Stade Francais because you got Azago swinging arm into Peter Amani's head. So he ends up getting red carded. The ref, I think, is initially looking at yellow because Peter Amani's certainly falling. If you considered it like he's going to wrap for a tackle, then I think it would have been yellow. But if you consider it's just a swinging arm, then it's a red because that action's never legal and the ref sees it that way. I think pretty fairly. I don't think that it's a wrap. I think he's just going for a big old whack. So, red card for him doesn't do Stade Francais' chances any good. Munster immediately punished from a maul. Alex Kendellen, great win from Peter Amani in the line-out. So, maul try, Kendellen powers over, and a great conversion as well. 21 points to 0. Then we get some more handbags. The crowd is loving the handbags, I guess, especially when your side's up 21-0. You're there in the cold, you see these guys getting all hot-blooded. It's a good reason to get cheering for your team, but the reason there's some handbags, again, there's not just kind of no reason for it, is because Poisson-T just kind of picked up Craig Casey. Now, there's a big difference in size between those guys, but he kind of like WWE style. What is that move that those Kane and Undertaker used to use? Is it pile driver or tombstone? I don't remember. I used to watch wrestling a long, long time ago, but yeah, I mean, I don't think it could have been worse, to be fair. He could have dumped him in a worse manner, but it's just not a good look, and it is a red card. So 2 red cards within a couple of minutes for both the locks for Stade Francais, and the fact that it's 15v13 and Munster punished straight away, looks like it's going to get horrendously bad. Like, it's a messy line-out, to be fair, but Tom Farrell's able to find himself some space. They got 2 extra men on the field. They should have that space. So it's a good try in the end after a messy line-out, but 28-0. And you're thinking Munster are just going to run riot. But weirdly, no. From here on out, largely Stade Francais dominate the possession. I know there's the wind, so maybe that's part of the reason for it. But Castet, the loose head prop, is able to get a try from a nice kind of 1-2 with the hooker on a line-up move. And then the rest of the game is largely just Stade Francais dominating the possession with 13 men. It is a weird one. I'm not sure Munster will be that happy with the way they finished the game with a two-man advantage. I mean, they did manage to get the final try through Gavin Coombs out wide, but it took some waiting, like 55 minutes. You got 15 on 13, the next try is 79. It's a big old gap. So it's not like they were ruthless and, put them away. They could have got a nice bit of extra points difference if they had managed to score more. But, no, I mean, it's still a bonus point win. I don't mean to be a negative Nelly, but yeah, you felt like the ref was almost feeling sorry for Stade Francais at the end. Like there was one point when Chapuis kind of clattered into, I think it was Kendellen. I'm pretty sure it's a yellow card, but the ref's just like, they want to give me another red. So that's what I mean about the refereeing in this game was just different from what I'm used to. Stats-wise, at the end of this game, territory finishes 59-41 to Stade Francais, which is surprising given they had two men down for such a long time, but possession Munster 54-46. Turnovers 1 Munster 8-4. They were very good at turning Stade Francais over. Stade Francais conceded 10 penalties to 6. They had to make more tackles, 165 to 152. But Stade Francais, despite having two men off the field for such a long time, finished with a higher tackle percentage than Munster by 1%, 92%, 91%. Usually a side which has got 2 red cards doesn't finish with a tackling percentage, which is like test match level. So, yeah, that's a little bit troubling just like for the Munster guys not to be able to find a bit extra space with 2 extra men on the field. Coombs was impressive, man. 17 carries, 18 tackles, wins 2 turnovers, gets himself a try. Taki Abrams, like I mentioned, man of the match, 3 line breaks, 84 metres, gets himself a try. Castet, the loose head prop, gets himself a try as well and also finishes as their top tackler with 23, the top tackler of the entire match. So impressive from him in a losing effort. But yeah, bizarre game. Munster are away to Cast next and Stade Francais are home to Saracens. You guys let us know your thoughts on the game. There is more Champions Cup action on, but I'm going to take my family to the beach because it's a nice day. So I'm going to enjoy that. You guys enjoy the rest of the rugby. Take care of yourselves and we'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.